Greetings. Yes, I'm back on the same day because I need to elaborate more because I feel this is extremely important that people understand the third, fourth, and fifth dimension, what their differences are, because that way, when you do cross over to the next dimension, you will know. The third dimension is flat. It's a material world, and it's full of fear, and it's all about materialistic items. What you own, what you drive, where you live. Our fear comes from our loss of control, to not be good enough. You can't trust others. We are separated from God and everything natural. Regardless of whether you go to church, most people are faking it. You fake it till you make it. No. What's real is within you. You were born with it. You made the decision of who you were before you even came into the world this time. People in the third dimension believe death is painful, dark, and finite. They believe we live our life, and that's it. And once it's over, it's done. Then you either go to heaven or hell. No. We believe it's okay to lie because everyone does it. We believe the world has scarcity and not enough for everyone. So we fight to get our share, what we deserve. We believe there are winners and there are losers. We believe that men and women have different roles and should stay in them. We believe we need someone to make us happy and whole, that we cannot be complete without someone else, which is not true. You can be happy just being you. There's an ego we create, and it keeps us in the past where something bad, some trauma happened that you relive over and over again. Or we live in the future, in the unknown, for the fear of what's going to happen. Rarely do people live in the now. Living in the now is called mindfulness. And it's very important that while you are doing something, your full attention is paid on what you're doing. That is mindfulness. Not letting your mind wander while you are folding your clothes. Think about how you are folding each fold. I will go more into mindfulness in the future. More on the third dimension. We're taught not to love ourselves because it's egotistical. It prevents you from being whole, and it creates a void within you. This dimension has a very low vibration. Our higher selves will not enter this body because we have such a low density. Our body's vibrations are causing us to be separate from God or the universe or whatever your religious preference may be to your highest deity. We believe our life is based on coincidence. We are not aware of our true identity, and we don't know who we are. And so we create this ego mind and show it to everyone. This mask we wear that never lets anyone see who we truly are. If you want, I'll tell you a secret. If you want to be able to find yourself, go into the woods. Walk through the woods, and you will drop that mask, and you will feel yourself. Our hearts are closed, and the ego mind is in control. Our souls are blocked most of the time. We can't believe anything except for what our ego mind says. And it hides our intuition and makes us question our intuition. Why would I feel that way? Well, there's no reason for me to feel like that. Why do I think that this person isn't safe? Why am I not feeling right? You need to trust your intuitions. They are what guide us. And when you allow your intuitions to take over, you will live a happier life. We find our happiness through external, through owning things. That's why so many people hoard. Because they buy the things, they get this high, and then they feel happy for a moment. But it's not real. That is part of the illusion. That is what the matrix, which you're stuck in, is all about. It's based on fear. And if you question this matrix, if you question other people or what's going on or why are we thinking this way or why people so materialistic, then everyone thinks you're crazy. That was one of the reasons I was very concerned about actually coming out of the spiritual closet and telling people about my experiences and my visions and the things that happened to me. But once you decide to choose love over fear, that's when you begin to change. That's when the fourth dimension comes in. In the fourth dimension, we begin to learn how the universe works. We learn to create our own reality. We learn to choose love permanently. We raise our vibrations and we find enlightenment. We laugh more. We are truly happy. Your spirit feels it. Your flame within you begins to glow. We then overcome the ego mind, which limited our heart and soul, and we take over as a free spirit. But we still do use that mask when necessary. We allow our spirit to control that mask, to control that ego. We realize there are no victims, there are no perpetrators, just teachers who help us to grow, even through terrible things that happen. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The universe comes to you and it gives you a jab, a little poke when it's trying to wake you up to let you know something's going on. Now, if you don't listen that first time, it comes back more with a slap. If you don't pay attention after that, the shit hits the fan. SHTF. So, in the fourth dimension, it's like a dream world or an astral plane. We are less dense and more fluid than the third dimension. We usually visit this plane in our dreams. It's a place where anything is possible because we realize we control it with our own minds. We can finally see the difference between reality and illusion, the illusion that most people are living. When a shaman experiences the fourth, fifth, up to the ninth dimension, they go there in a dream state or in a journey to gain information, and they bring it back to people who could not go into this dream state. But on the fourth dimension, you begin to connect with the collective unconscious. You can connect with dark and light and not be afraid of the dark. This is where people become higher frequencies. And people with higher frequencies in the fourth dimension are often very tired because of the friction of the plane's flux. The fourth dimension will not last for a long period of time. This is a turning point, and that is why I am here. I want to try and help people get out of that third dimension, which is crumbling, into the fourth dimension to learn and elevate to the fifth dimension. People who are in the fourth dimension and they're realizing these things start to panic many times, which can cause addictive behavior. It can cause conflicts because they feel like they don't fit in. Because you're still around these third dimension people who are flat. Say, I don't want things to change. They must stay the way they are. Or they want to go back. We on the planet Earth go forward in time. Time is an illusion too. But here's the deal. Time is linear. If you, once a person moves on, their spirit moves on, and they die, or they go into an astral plane, all right? There isn't any time. There's no past or future or present. It's all at one time. Everything happens at one time. All you need to do is think of it and you are there. And you find that out through enlightenment. It's a painful experience because change can be very painful. But the end result can be so ecstatic and beautiful. Let me tell you about the fifth dimension. It's pure light because there are no shadows. There's no darkness. The light is around us. We're surrounded by light, so there cannot be dark. It goes beyond linear time, as I mentioned. The body is lighter, and all its cellular structure is different. This is science. It goes down to our particular matter, our particles, our DNA. It changes. There's an intense energetic flow of unconditional love, and it makes you feel so light and at ease. There's no room for fear. Before the higher self can enter the physical body, the mental and physical and spiritual must be healed first. This is, you're going to find your higher self. Your higher self can finally join in with you, and you won't forget who you are anymore. You'll remember. You'll remember your ancestors. You remember who you were. Your higher self will slip in and out of you during this time period before it can move in permanently. But you'll feel it. You'll start to feel. And you'll start to remember things. And you will know. You will know. All of your actions will begin to be based on love. You'll feel connected with everything. You will realize that you are a part of everything. You, your soul, is a part of everything in this universe. That's how you co-create with the divine. We recognize ourselves as individuals, however, although we live in a unity consciousness. So we all realize we're part of it all, but we still keep our identity. We live from the heart, and it's a sensual feeling. And it's self-generated, and it's so powerful, incredibly powerful. It feels magnificent. All experiences are considered to be embraced with gratitude. You feel grateful for everything. When you start to feel grateful and not entitled, you're changing. There are so many people who feel entitled. They want everything without feeling grateful. Every day we have to remember how grateful we are. I know I'm grateful every day. And keep in mind, whatever you think, you are creating in your thoughts. If you wish ill upon someone, you're hurting them. And vice versa. That's where psychic attacks come from. People don't realize that when they think something negative about someone else, they're harming them even without touching them. You might not even know someone, and you might be cursing them. A psychic attack is a form, could be considered a form of a curse. So you have to watch what you're actually thinking about, and try to think with love and compassion. When you see a homeless person on the street, what do? Are you thinking, oh, that bum ought to get a job? You don't know that person's circumstances. You don't have the right. Make sure your house is very clean before you start judging someone else. In the fifth dimension, You don't have to worry about protecting yourself. Because people share. Needs are always fulfilled through love and cooperation. Anyone who enters the fifth dimension can add 20 years to their life. Just as medical science is working on these things. But it's not all medical science. Some things are going to have to break before we can repair. There are cracks forming throughout the earth right now. We need to wake up. I can tell you, I remember in one of my lives I was an Egyptian. I was a female, and my husband would leave for long periods of time because he was a trader, and he would go and sell items and bring back others. While he was gone, I would have affairs on him. That was my lesson, to be honest and faithful. Loyalty, honesty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and courage. They were actually the things taught to me while I was in the Army. If we can all live through these ideas, we can be better people, and we can survive, and we can feel good about who we are. People who feel like their life has no purpose, it's lacking because you're not doing anything to help anyone else. So, because you feel like your life has no purpose, you go out and you purchase something expensive. The emptiness remains. If you want to teach your children how to be good people, teach them how to help others and how to be good. Loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. The acronym is leadership. I thank the Army for that lesson. I thank the Army for that lesson. Because I remember other lives. I remember being an Indian, a Native American Indian. And I could run through the woods like a rabbit, like a deer, like a wolf. I was happy. And I followed the rules because I wanted to, not because I had to. But I was killed by a white man. In another life, I remember being an old Indian woman. I only gather glimpses of my lives, but I remember sitting there chewing on deer hide. I had no teeth. There were no men around it. We had no shaman. The children were all gone. It was just us women, us old women, and young women who cried over their children being taken. Yes, I remember, and I can feel it, and I know it to be true. And as I continue to have my lucid dreams, I see other things. My spirit came to me in the form of death to tell me that 3 people would be dying. That was my father and my brother on the same day, and my mother a few months later. Just this year, Spirit came to me again as death. I lost my uncle and my brother's wife, and she was too young to go. But it was her time. Now, he's very sad, and I wish there was something I could do, but I cannot explain this to everyone, that she's still there. She's still here, because we are all a part of this. But losing a partner in a physical form when you are in this third dimension, it's pain and fear and all of the negative emotions. So, I pray to you, please, learn to lighten up. Be grateful. Be grateful for everything. Be grateful for the food on your plate. Be grateful for the roof over your head. Be grateful for everything. For nature, especially. We have one earth. Do small things. Random acts of kindness. Seeing trash on the ground, pick it up and throw it out. And the best kind of random kindness is when you don't tell anyone you did it. You shouldn't have to. Because all that does is try to get someone to say, oh, you are so wonderful. You don't need to be reaffirmed how wonderful you are. You are spirit. You are wonderful. You are worth something. You must believe this of me. This is so important. You make a difference every single day. You can be someone good or not. We are our own karma. If you do wrong, wrong will come back upon you threefold. And that's not a warning. I shouldn't have to even say that. But for those who don't know, that's exactly what happens. Threefold. So, do the right thing. Be a happy person. Find whatever you need to make yourself laugh. Be happy. Even if you're sad, if you smile, you will feel better. I'm going to try and lead people to this fifth dimension because it was the deal I made before I came to this life. And I have suffered, my friends. I had to learn a lot before I could get here. And I can tell you, even enlightened people aren't always happy. We don't always walk around in a joyful mood. I stub my toe. I might have someone, anything can happen. You know, even the Dalai Lama has a bad day. That's the way it is. But in your mind, it's how you look at it. I want to continue on with this. I'm going to explain some more before I get into the depths of metaphysical, my metaphysical universe. Before I teach you these things, I need to explain things to you, and the way you are thinking needs to shift, okay? That's all I want to do. I am here to help. If you have any questions, please contact me at Cherie Pie, CHERIEPIE 568 at gmail.com. I will return your messages. People, it's a tough world out there. So let's try and make it a little bit better every single day, okay?